Greetings, people of YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. And what the hell's going on? I'm just trying something new here for my intro segment. If I don't like it, I'll revert back to the old ways in my next video. Also, if you've noticed some similarities to a certain Godzilla-faced YouTuber, that is totally not a coincidence. He is indeed one of my biggest inspirations. Anyways, today we are going to be talking about the Transformers Legacy Evolution Deluxe class, DEVCON. This will finally complete my Legacy Evolution Deluxe Class Wave 3 collection. Stay tuned for the rest of the video. Just like Beachcomber though, I am not that familiar with the character itself. I believe he only appeared for like one episode in the G1 cartoon, correct me if I'm wrong about that. And to be honest, I am not as big of a fan of this guy's design as much as I was with Beachcomber's design. But I still think this guy is pretty cool. Now taking a closer look at the box here, you can see that in the front there is a cool looking artwork of the vehicle mode. On this side, some artwork of the robot mode. At the back, some product shots like usual. On this side, you get one half of the Legacy Evolution poster. And if you have a Decepticon to go along with your Autobot, you can make a full version of the poster. I'm sorry if this is misaligned, I'm not looking at a viewfinder right now. Getting back to the packaging here, you can see that at the top there is a QR code that you can scan right there if you want to. And at the bottom, do I even need to say it? Right, so I am pretty excited to open this guy up, so why don't we just get to my review station. I'll unbox this thing and we'll take a closer look at it. And here is the Transformers Legacy Evolution Deluxe Class DEVCON out of his packaging. I really don't know what it is about this figure, but I just love it. I may not be a big fan of the design at first, but after handling the figure itself, my goodness, it changed my opinion. So because I love this figure so much, why don't we take a closer look at it, starting with his accessories. He comes with these two thruster pieces and this one arm blaster. You can plug in this blaster into his hands, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to go on his arms, so there you go. You can also plug it on his back for weapon storage. I guess this works too. I don't really care about the versatility of this gun. This is where it belongs to me. Plug that in like a good boy. And the two thruster pieces are not as important here in robot mode as they will become in vehicle mode, but there are various places in which you can put them here in robot mode. You can plug them into his forearms, plug them into his back to make a jet booster type of thingy, or you can just plug them into where they'll become in the vehicle mode. But according to the back of the box, you can combine these thrusters with his blaster bars. Well, I think this is already pretty badass. I like to take this a step further and bada bang, here he is in what I like to call his overkill mode. By no means is this G1 accurate, but it is pretty darn fun to do, especially if you plug in some blast/flame effects. I'll show some pictures right here. And yep, this is most likely how I'm going to display this figure on my shelf. And yeah, I mean, for the few accessories that he has, he's pretty versatile, isn't he? Of course, nowhere near the level of axle grease, but it's pretty cool still. So we are definitely starting off on a good note here. And I'm sure you all know that after talking about the accessories, I like to talk about the details of the figure. Now, comparing him to the G1 character art that I can find, you can see that sculpt-wise, I think they nailed it pretty well, but the colors are a bit off. That is something that bothered me quite a bit at first, but man, after handling the figure, I gotta say the brighter color scheme really pops here. I'm telling you, I am not a big fan of baby blue plastic most of the time, but man, this time it looks great. Of course, not forgetting the fact that the silhouette of the figure is pretty clean, except for this backpack, but hey, you win some, you lose some, right? I guess if you plug in the thrusters, it doesn't look too bad. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that this figure is actually a heavy retool from the Transformers Studio Series 86 Blur figure, was it? No, I never got that figure, but I gotta say from what I've seen, they've retooled a lot of parts here. From my knowledge, the only parts that are identical to the Blur figure are these feet right here. That's a bit of a shame considering I think DEVCON has a pretty interesting foot design, but I guess this works well enough. Also, the solidity on this figure top notch, baby. This guy along with Beachcomber are like my two best and most stable deluxe class figures. I love him so much. He's extremely fun to handle. You can get him into a lot of different poses, which of course is helped tremendously by his ball joint at the head, which can rotate all the way 360. If you can see there, the ball joint is actually embedded within the neck, so it's a pretty interesting type of ball joint. Barely any up and down movement, but hey, at least it's something. Also, I forgot to mention that the head sculpt here is really good. The silver paint application on his beautiful face here and his red rocket thingy are pretty clean. Shoulders can rotate 360 degrees. Careful, they are a bit tight. Shoulders can move out about that far. Elbow swivel. A single jointed elbow that bends in at 90 degrees. No wrist posability, but that is due to the engineering, so I'm pretty okay with that. A really nice waist swivel. Leg strain and kick forward about that far. Moves back about that far. Whoa, that's really far actually. Of course, he can do the splits. The thigh rotations are a little too loose for my liking, but I think I can easily fix that with super glue. 90-degree bend at the knee. And finally, for the ankles, has a ratchet joint that makes it move upwards, and a fantastic ankle pivot. Posability on this guy isn't too crazy, but it is definitely adequate enough for a deluxe class figure. And speaking of the fact that he is a deluxe class figure, size comparisons. Here is DEVCON next to Transformers Legacy Dragstrip, the Legacy Blitzwing. Comparing him to a regular 6-inch scale figure, here we have the Marvel Legends Mr. Knight. And finally, the size comparison that I've been waiting for. Here are all the Transformers Legacy Evolution Wave 3 Deluxe class figures next to each other. Gotta say, I freaking love this wave. A 180-degree contrast compared to the Legacy Year 1 Wave 3 Deluxe class figures. I'm really sorry, but none of those figures are desirable to me at all, whilst all of these figures are fantastic in my opinion. And of course, because this is a complete wave, I will rank them from my least favorite to my favorite. At the very bottom, I'm really sorry to do this, but I gotta give it to Beachcomber. Awesome figure still, but it does offer the least amount of stuff compared to all these other figures. Does not mean you should pass on this figure, though. This is still really awesome. And next, I'm gonna give it to Axel Grease. If her limbs didn't pop off so much, I would probably give her a higher ranking, but here we are. At the number 2 spot, I'm giving it to the current figure that I'm reviewing, which is DEVCON. Of course, I have not finished his review just yet, so you'll have to see about my full opinion on this figure later on. And my favorite figure from the wave is a figure that did not even come out this year, and I have not even reviewed it. It's Tarantulas. Aesthetics, posability, accessories, absolute top-notch figure. You shall worry not though, I will absolutely do a shorts review on this guy fairly soon. Right, with all of that out of the way, let us transform this figure, which will take about 10 seconds. And here is DEVCON in his really abstract yet really cool looking spaceship-esque alt mode. I don't even know what this thing is truly supposed to be, yet I really like it a lot for some reason. I think it's just the sleek shape of it, you know? It's a somewhat random yet really cool, sleek aerodynamic design, which I really like quite a bit. And of course, fortunately for the design, this is not supposed to replicate any kind of Earth mode vehicle, so it doesn't really have to be accurate to anything except the show model. Which, yeah, I mean, for what it is, it's pretty show accurate. The fun does not stop here though, as we still have some weapon storage to discuss. For the blaster, plug it right under his nose cone. And for his thrusters, you plug them into these holes at the rear of the vehicle mode. Also, you want to make sure to plug these in which the port side is facing inwards. And here is DEVCON in his fully accessorized vehicle mode, and it does look complete like this. Definitely not how I will be displaying this guy on my shelf, but it is still a pretty cool looking alt mode regardless. But just to make it a little more fun, I have this Jurassic World Amber Collection Raptor stand, which I can prop this figure on top of. That's pretty neat. So that's pretty much it for the vehicle mode. It can't even roll around or anything, so why don't we just get into the size comparisons. Here is DEVCON next to Dragstrip, Blitzwing in his tank mode, Mr. Knight, and of course, Gotta say, in alt mode here, they all have a slightly different ranking. I think DEVCON's alt mode might be my least favorite amongst all of these. It's still pretty cool though. And next I'm gonna give it to Beachcomber, and then Axle Grease, and my favorite is still Tarantulas. And just a little fun thing here before I end this review. I'm going to show off some of Axle Grease's weaponizer capabilities with this guy. So what I like to do, rip off her hood, split them into two pieces, 2007 Megatron style. And I like to plug this peg here into this port in the shoulder. Yep, make sure that goes all the way in. Same goes for the other side. Then I like to take off all of these pieces. Take off the entire arm portion as well. This whole mid-torso section doesn't go anywhere, so go and throw it off to the side. For the arms, split them apart. Make sure the elbow is bent at about 90 degrees. Rotate her wrists upward. Separate these guys and attach one of them onto here. Yep. Same thing goes for the other arm, of course. And now I like to plug these guys onto the back of his shoulders. Like so. There you go. Got a little bit of shoulder cannon action here. Axle Grease's exhaust pipes will plug into these holes. Yep. Then I like to transform his left hand into the thruster mode. There you go. And plug in this. Oh, it's a really tight fit. I almost forgot these engine block blasters will plug into the top of the cannons like usual. Yep. And on his right arm, I like to initiate the overkill mode. And here we are. Here is DEVCON weaponized with Axle Grease, and my gosh, this is absolutely over the top and I kinda love it. It's quite top heavy, but as you can see, he can stand up on his own. In no way am I going to display the figure like this, but it's a fun display option for those of you who want it. You even get a little bit of shoulder cannon articulation, that's pretty cool. And if you want it, here is a 360 look at the figure. I don't think I will be putting this on my turntable. And there goes my review for the Transformers Legacy Evolution Wave 3 Deluxe Class DEVCON. I originally wanted to do this outro section in the style of my intro section, but it's freaking 4 AM in the morning and I haven't slept yet, so sorry guys. Getting back to the figure though, overall I think this guy is great. It's just a nice, solid deluxe class figure that I can just play around anytime I want without any of the limbs popping off or anything like that, and I think it's going to stand out positively well on my shelf. Again, just like in my Beachcomber review, if you are a fan of the Transformers G1 cartoon or you are a fan of this type of aesthetic, then I absolutely recommend this figure to you. And of course, I hope you all liked this review. Please hit that like button if you did. Don't forget to leave a comment and share this video with a friend. And it goes without saying that it will help me quite a lot if you guys subscribe. It's been a little bit messy trying to balance my college life along with this whole YouTube thing. So yeah, I'm just trying to do my best to upload here. With all that being said, hopefully I will see you all next time. Goodbye!
While they are helpless, destroy them!